There is that moment when you realize that you really truly are safe. When you discover that you have something that needs to be said and you stop hiding. But safety isn't the goal, it's just a launch pad. And today we want to talk about launching the you that is you for you. Let's dive into that. Hi, my name is Steve Kidd. I am a third generation minister, international best-selling author of 39 books and counting. I've had the amazing privilege of working with nearly 5,000 people, helping them write, publish, market their books to bestseller, and everything that goes beyond that. In the last 40 years now, almost, that we've been a marketing company, we have really specialized always in helping people with their messaging, helping them know who they truly are and how to be able to express that in the world. And yeah, a lot of times that does, which is why there's so many books, translate into books. Other times it translates into your signature talk. But what it always translates into is you showing up and being the strong, powerful, capable, amazing you that you are to make the difference in this world that only you can make. And even now, as I invite a couple of people to come join us if they have an opportunity, and if you're not on this list of people that I am inviting, don't take it personal. It just simply means that I don't know your social media handle well enough, or you're not closely related enough part of my team yet to be able to really get that invite. But eventually, I would love for you to be one of these people too. I want to see you be shared with the world, to make the difference that only you can make, because the only you that is you. You see, what is safety? What is it really? Is it this magical place where nothing ever goes wrong? And really, how boring would that be? I mean, let's be honest just a little bit. How incredibly dull would your life be if nothing ever went wrong? You'd be creating problems. I mean, most of us, that's what we'd end up doing, right? We'd end up creating situations to make things, same, better, worse, whatever. We'd do something to try to be able to somehow have some excitement, some adventure in our life, right? That's not me saying go out and create some chaos so you can have an exciting adventure in your life. What I am saying, though, is this safety thing that we all are afraid of. This, what if I go out on stage and somebody laughs at me? What if I go out on stage and people don't understand me? They don't get me. They don't know who I am. Okay, that is definitely a possibility. But what if they do? Okay, let's even go a little deeper than that. What if nobody in the room gets you, but you get you? We've been talking about that a lot this week, about the two ears on the side of your face that combine with your eyes and those ears that can hear your mouth saying the thing. You see, you're going to have to believe it long before they do. I've said many times, I'll say it again. If you don't like your post on social media, why should anybody else? You should be the first person hearting it up. That's not some kind of conceited, I'm so amazing kind of a thing. That's just a pure, real talk kind of version of saying, you need to believe your stuff. And unfortunately, what we often come into is a place of, I had a buddy of mine, he actually literally called his group Head Trash Nation, No Head Trash Nation, because we all live in that space of head trash, of, all this crazy stuff that our mind comes up with that we then believe is true. And so we search around for this safe place, and at work and different places now, they make safe spaces. So that, if you're traumatized at work, you can go and, suck your thumb in a corner, whatever. The thing about it is whenever you put two people together, there's going to be things that they're going to really come together on and make amazingly powerful, cool things that separately they couldn't. but they're also going to disagree. And I don't care how much you love the person, how tight you are, how bestest of friends, how ride or die you are. You're not going to, you wouldn't want, think about your best friend for a minute. Think about the times that you've had the knockdown, drag out, maybe even literally, physical altercations with your bestie. You know that person's your ride or die. You know that if you needed an alibi, they would come up with it. They'd risk, lying in court to be your alibi. They're just that buddy. You know what I'm saying? We all have at least one. Some of us are lucky enough to have a couple of people like that in our life. And sometimes that changes over the years. Your bestie that was your bestie when you were 8 is probably, I think it'd be so cool if it is, but it probably isn't who's your bestie now. I'm so fortunate. I have my buddy Craig. He's one of the people that you see on the list that I invited. Craig and I have known each other for goodness sakes, probably almost 30 years now. I wish he wasn't at work. I tag him so that hopefully he can see these, when I call him out and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been about 30 years. And there's been times when we've completely disagreed. And there's been times when we are just so in sync. But, I've told Craig, you need an alibi, I'm yours. You were at my house. Absolutely. There's my room. Let's take a picture and superimpose it in it, whatever we got to do. Okay. It's just that kind of deal. That doesn't mean we haven't massively disagreed on things. More in everything that we believe is the same than the things that we differ on. But we're unique individuals and we have our own opinions on things as well. And that's what makes us great friends. And over the course of those times, the times that we've been, where we've talked or texted every single day, and the times where days, weeks, months have gone by, I don't know that a year has ever gone by when I haven't had any communication with him. And there are times when he's been going through things and it's a little bit more difficult to know exactly how to really reach him. Same in reverse. And you do what you can. And sometimes all you can do is just send him a text and say, hey, I have no idea what to do to help, but I'm here. And sometimes that's really all they want, is just somebody to be there. You see, that is what real safety is like. But it's not about total, no disagreement. Okay? And this safe thing that we're looking for is you just being you. You can't be anybody else anyway. And you're literally doing harm to yourself by not just showing up as you and being the real you. Go back to your worst case scenario where everybody that you speak to just doesn't totally get you. They just don't understand it all, blah, blah, blah. All that kind of stuff, right? Okay, there's a possibility of that. Bummer, absolutely. But, if that's what happens, guess who did hear you and made one more step forward towards really cementing in how cool you are? You, who has 10 fingers, 4 fingers, 2 thumbs, whichever way you want to do it. This guy, right? If you get up on that stage, if you do that live stream, if you pick up your phone and you do a short or a reel, and the only person's ears that ever hear it, or the only person's ears that hear it believes it, is you, that is more than enough. You need 10,000 hours to become an expert. I surmised yesterday that you probably need an additional 10,000 hours for you to believe that you're an expert after you already have. See, how old are you? I should have done the math because I didn't do it yesterday and now I don't know. But here's the deal. 10,000 hours. Now, if you're talking about going live for an hour a day, 365 days a year, that's like 3,6,500, which would be, like 3,600 hours, right? Somebody do the math on 365 one. So that'd be like 36,000 hours. So, if you did an hour a day and you need 10,000 hours and you could get 36,000 hours somebody could check me on that if you want to. And I don't know where I came up with the number 100. That would be 2 years, a little bit less than. So half that. So, 18,000 hours that if you went an hour a day. No. Okay, 360. Yeah, okay, I know what I did. Never mind. I know how I did that math. So 365, which would be 36,500. Yes, okay. Hours if you did an hour every single day for 365 days. All right. Sorry about the rabbit trail with the math not working in my brain today. It usually works quicker than that. So, in about a third of a year, you could do that 10,000 hours if you did it consistently. Would you believe it? Now, here's the thing. Okay, let's say you're more than 10 years old. Pretty good guess, right? Your parents would probably think you were a weirdo if you're watching Steve Kidd and his talking about being safe enough to speak and brave enough to be seen. And that's what you spent half an hour, 45 minutes of your day doing. They'd be like, wow, okay, our child is very uniquely them. That's probably what they'd say because they love you. But even if you're a 10-year-old, and if my math is right, which I think it is, but, in that particular case, you've been you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for your entire life. So by the time you're 10, do the math. 365 times 24. Okay. I'm totally lost in all the math now too, so don't worry about it. I understand, what I'm saying, and I understand that I'm also totally wrong in what I'm saying. Because if you went an hour a day for 365 days out of the year, that would be 365 hours. I don't know where the 100 came in there. I had something that I was thinking, but I don't remember what it was. It's probably how many minutes, or no, not even that. Whatever, okay? Doesn't matter. All right? The point being is by the time you're 10 years old, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year, you have become an absolute expert at being you. So forget everything else I said, blah, 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 whatever. Steve doesn't always make sense. That's part of what's fun about me. And that could be the drinking game for the day. Did Steve say something, math, that made absolutely no logical sense? It's not typical for me, but it happened in this particular case. We'll go with it. Okay? You are an expert at being you. The safety you crave comes from knowing that you're the only you. You are the expert at you. You were, by the time you were 10, by the time you were 20, you were twice as good at being you as you were at 10. If you're 40, you're 4 times better than you were at 10, and you're twice as good as you were in your 20s, at 20. By the time you reach 58, like I am, oh my gosh, you should just be banging your own drumhead, constantly going, hey, look at what an amazing individual I am at being me. I may not be great at anything else, but I am an absolute expert at me. That's why I said, I will send you the certificate, the doctorate of you, because you are an absolute beyond PhD level at being you. And the world needs you. Not so you can bulldoze your opinions on people or push yourself to the breaking point to be visible. Just purely to just say the thing. Say it out loud, because then your ears can hear it. And there is some power in saying it out loud. The things rattle around in your brain and you think about them and all those kind of things. But when you're brave enough to say it out loud, even in a room by yourself, it makes a huge difference. And then when you reach over and pick up my phone that's beeping all the time, oh, not mine, but yours, which is probably beeping all the time too, and you go, hey, today I'd just like to talk to you about. You can go with the more advanced version that I created for you. Hi, my name is. what I do is, and what I'd like to talk to you today about is, you could just pick up your phone and go, have you ever noticed the blah, blah, blah? I mean, just jump into it. Don't even give the preamble to it. Down the road, you can get good at spoken hooks and intros like this one that ChatGPT and I worked out for this one. Inside, oh, no, that's the call to action. Safe isn't the end goal. Safe is where brave begins. Because safe is a construct of your mind. Safe is the thing that you decide you're safe. Daniel felt safe in the lion's den. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego felt safe in a fiery furnace. John, the one that wrote Revelations, John the disciple, John the Revelator, if you want to use that from the song. John felt safe getting thrown in a vat of oil. And even with that, they eventually just banished him to an island, which is where he ended up writing Revelations and other things, because they couldn't kill him. They tried all kinds of ways. Safety is something you choose, not something that the world just gives you. It wasn't that there wasn't any violence. I mean, my goodness sakes, you're talking about, John, who lived in a time, literally. So if he lived to be 100, let's say he's approximately the same age as Jesus. Jesus was born at 0. We're going with, just traditional timeline-ish, all right? Okay. That means that John lived through the entire fall of Jerusalem, the complete destruction of essentially the entirety of the nation of Israel. Masada, all of those kind of first century things that happened. He lived through all of it. Being a Jewish guy, a follower of Jesus, lived through all the persecution, lived through the years of Nero, burning Christians at the stake alive for his garden parties. Like he said, on top of being thrown into a vat of boiling oil and not boiling and all kinds of other things he lived through. The safety came from the choice to speak what you know you have to speak and be who you are, not because of some kind of constructed safe space, safe zone that's going to magically, really, truly have you be safe. Because you can live in the middle of nowhere in Kansas and a tornado can hit. We have pretty well zero crime here in my little town of 400 people. It's not saying that it never happens. They say statistically that you're more likely to get in an accident within 20 miles of your home than anywhere else. That's why people keep moving. That's a really stupid old dad joke. Right? Pull out of your driveway and have somebody smack into you. And it could happen out here in the middle of nowhere just as easily as it could in a big city. We can't live in that space of fear. We have to show up. We have to choose the pace we're going to go out at, that we are going to go out. We choose our consistency. We choose it because of our deep desire to connect. And from that is where we will find the clarity. We'll find it, one, in speaking it. As we say it, we will find it. And two, in working with somebody like me. I'd love to have you work with me. Go to visibilityamplifier.com. Join our free community. Drop me a DM and say, hey, Steve, I don't want to be one of the crowd. I want to work specifically with you. I want to make my book a bestseller. I want to have a signature talk that just blows doors. I want to. Done. Let's do it. Absolutely. Excited about it. Let's do it. The point is, the more you do it, the more natural it's going to feel. The safer you're going to feel in it, the more that you do it. And I've created a nice, gentle, no pressure, no force, easy to use place called the Visibility Amplifier community. You go to visibilityamplifier.com and you can have a safe space. And you can bravely show up in there, and we've got your back, and you can talk, and you can be you, and you can practice it. The world needs you. You need you. So let's do it. Go to visibilityamplifier.com. Come join me. I applaud you for being brave enough to be seen in whatever way. Even if it's seeing yourself in the mirror, that's brave, and I applaud you for it. Good job. I'm proud of you. I really am. Not being sarcastic, even if it sounded like it. Thank you so much for who you are. So today is the day that I leave to go on my trip. I'm still going to be here with you every single one of the days. I do have a format, and if I hop off of the format a little bit, you'll love and forgive me anyway. Tomorrow, we're going to get together and talk about this is what happens when you start using your voice. And we're going to do that. More than likely, we'll do it from the train. And it may be a short one again, like it was when I was at the hospital with Mom the other day. But we're here. We're together. We're safe. And now you're brave enough to show up and do it. And I'm so proud of you for it. I don't know if where you are, if the clouds have rolled in and the rain is pouring, or if it's warm where you are, but I hope that inside you feel that warmth. That you know that we've got your back. And that until we're together again next time, you have a great, great week.